Okay, so I guess it's not raining anymore, but it was, and it probably will again. So we got a little bit of an inside afternoon here, and we have plenty of stuff to do. So I think that our itinerary is going to be first switching the containers of our brew batch. You can scoop all the gunk off the top and suck all the liquid out and put it in a new jar and then let it settle again, and then it'll be time for bottling. And then after that, we can probably finally tackle this mess out here. And actually, first things first, since it did stop raining, I'm gonna go change the battery in my car. Just really quick, and then we'll get to the rest of the fun stuff. All right, this part can be kind of a pain, but less of a pain than bottling. I'm not sure where my other hose is, so this will have to, yeah, this will be fine. This will be fine. So, we gotta sanitize everything again, just like the first time. All right, well, I didn't hit record like I thought I did, but I'll just show you what we got going on here. So I got the hydrometer set up with the tube, the scoopy, and the transfer vessel, as well as the hose here for the siphon hose. And here's this guy. So we just got these sanitized so that we can do the transfer. And in the process, oh, I need the baster as well. And in the process, we'll test the gravity now, so that then once it clears again, we can know if the process is done. Because then basically, like, if the ABV has not shifted at all, if the specific gravity has not shifted at all, once we do it again, then we know that it's not moving anymore and the process is finished. There it is. All right, while that's drying, I want to chart out the seed starter tray, just make a plot of it on paper, and then we can go through our seed packs, because I got like a shitload of seed packs of different kinds. So we got to decide what's going on there. And then that'll help us figure out what we're going to plant and where and how many of what, so that we can do that in a little bit. So I got to make the chart first. Okay, and then we just have to zone this. So this will be peppers. And we'll just go jalapeno, dragon, cayenne, thin, cayenne, and Hungarian wax. Cool. And then just pick and roll. Okay. When you're doing this, you got to be kind of careful, because it's really easy to disturb the yeast sediment at the bottom. So just do it slow and careful. And if you're saying, Nick, wouldn't it be easier to use a slotted spoon? Yeah, it probably would, but this is the one that I got. So, I mean, I own a slotted spoon, but this is what I got for this specific process. Yeah, actually, not only would a slotted spoon be so much easier, but so would just a smaller spoon in general. I could probably get a freaking normal ass spoon out of my cabinet here, and it'd be easier. Yeah, actually, we are gonna do that. Oh, look at this. Smaller scoops, but I'm not missing anything. Learn something new every day. All this junk is just all the remnants of the raspberries that I had in there, and if you look, they're all sucked of color and everything, but they don't stink. You know what I mean? It's not like they're Well, actually, I guess the part of the fermentation process would be that they are rotted, but I thought they would stink. First time I did this, I was like, oh, dude, that shit looks rancid in there. And it was actually fine. We could probably just dodge the rest of the chunks, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not waiting around all day. And now for the magic of the siphon. Again, gently. So you start, obviously I've already stirred up some sediment. Oh, there's one more big chunk in there I missed. All right, just get her high to low. And give her a little tug. Oh my God, dude. Not only did I boof it, but the drawback just stirred up so much sediment. There we go. I can just see it sucking in all that sand on the bottom. Is what it is. We'll get them next time. I mean, you're kind of bound to get some sediment no matter what, but the less, the better. There's just this layer of that's all the dead yeast and everything, and then the dead raspberries on top. So I usually leave like about an inch because it's hard to suck out any more than that without scooping up all that stuff. And even then, you can see that this is somewhat cloudier than it was before just because of everything that got stirred up. That's why I like to transfer to a secondary vessel, because then I can let it resettle again instead of trying to bottle from this initial vessel and getting all that extra junk in the bottles. Just seems way more sterile that way. And then this junk, you can just toss. What we are gonna do is clean out that first vessel that it was in so that we can, because what I wanna do is I have a like black tea bourbon bags, and then I have a like cherry blossom tea, and I want to do both of them. So I want to kind of split test and see which one is better. So once this sifts again, then I'll move it all into the other jar, and then clean that other, the second jar that we're gonna call the jar that I just took it out of jar A, and the jar that I just put it into jar B. Okay, that makes it a lot easier. So I'm now going to clean jar A, right? And then once jar B is done settling, I will then move it back into jar A, right? Clean jar B, and then split the liquid into both. So then I can do the tea treatment. Way simpler that way. But just, so we can kind of test and see the difference. So I always save a little bit of the original so that I can taste compare and see how much towards the tea flavor it's gone. But obviously this is gonna happen way later. And actually, I just completely forgot that we didn't even do the hydrometer testing yet. So let's do that as well. So do this. Oh boy. Nothing but smooth operations over here. Look at that. Dude, look at me, I'm a pro. Sucker's going all the way to the brim, dude. And let's give it a look-see. And stop. There we go. So it looks to be about 0.99, call it a 0.996. Okay, and then we get to 0.996 as of, was it really the 18th? As of okay, and so then we can say that this probably to be more helpful would be better off as being original, because then you do the starting gravity, or the original gravity, minus the final gravity times 131.25, and that number can change sometimes, and I'm not really sure what it's based off of, but all of the formulas and forums online say this one right there. So that would equal 11.8125, and we'll just call it 11.8% so far, which is not bad. So now we just have to wait for that to settle again, and then we'll do what I just talked about, and then we'll do another calculation, and then we'll see if that changes at all, and if not, then it's ready for the bottle. So actually, check this out. I just switched the bottle. So I just put this back in here, and I started hearing some bubbling. Yeah, it's so bright. Bloob. So it's still active. So I put a little bit more yeast nutrient in there, and it started bubbling up again. So we might actually squeeze a couple more percentage points out of this bad boy yet. That's not bad. All right, so we got this whole setup here, and you can see those lines that I told you about there. So that kind of gives us our orientation as to where these things are. So we know that that corner right there is this corner right here. So now we just got to fill all but these with our soil, which I'm gonna probably moisten up a little bit, and then put in our seeds. Seeds in each one of these. And then we can just go plot by plot and put everything in, and just seed by seed, which is pretty easy. And I always like to put a couple seeds in each hole, so that way, like, if one doesn't sprout, I mean, I know you have 6 cells per unit, but, you know, it just increases your odds a little bit. Just like 2 to 5 seeds in each hole, kind of increasing your odds a little bit, because sometimes they just won't do it. But, and of course, as soon as I put a whole bunch in there, they always sprout, but that's okay. It's